true crime, a terrible sight, and everything else. Thought I'd do a little map searching on Ben Hill Road in Tennessee. Which someone had mentioned in a comment that they had a U-shaped driveway. And if this is the house, what a mess. I believe it is, because there it is, hidden in the bushes. The camper. Right here. So, looking into this house and doing the mapping. So we come over here. Looks like there's little dirt roads that lead into this place. Got a lot of land going on in here. You know, of course, if someone wanted to come in here, yes, take the little girl, they could. Of course, it goes into neighboring house. Yeah, a lot of woods, a lot of mountain terrain is right. Back off a minute. Of course, you got the Beach Creek. There's a creek in here, too. Right along that road there. So, I mean, if it's safe to say, if this kid did wander off, yes, a lot, and I'm sure these are all hills. You can see the indents. A lot of hills. Of course, this road down here also is a dead end. And with that being said, and, you know, going on the reports of saying, oh, last seen on her road. Ben Hill Road, last seen. The only ones that could honestly see this little girl, due to this being a dead end, as you can see clearly here. I mean, I'm sure it was maybe an old existing road at one time. Or this is just someone's property. Yeah, it is actually. But that's the thing with roads that I've been learning about on maps. Especially in my town. There have been roads that have been noted. You see them. But, right, they cut them off. They let them grow in. So whatever this road has been a dead end. I don't know. This was farmland also at one time. Well, these are just trails that they use to maybe four-wheel in. But lo and behold, and anybody that would have seen this girl last on this road would have been a resident. Where are their statements? And yet someone said there's a video up right on TikTok. Last day of swimming. Now the question is, in that TikTok video, where was the swimming hole at? Because if it was at the creek, which, you know, back in the day, I know I used to go to a creek in New York, upstate. Actually, I was just talking about that to my wife the other day. Me and her both used to get taken to creeks, but my creek was something that, you know, was told to me, and I had to find it myself. It was when my mother and father split up. My mother took me to New York. And they're like, oh, there's a creek out there. Go swimming. That's what I got. So, I went through this path, I went down this path, went across the street like this was said, down a path, into some woods, and bang, there was a creek. Nice little clean water too, man. It was great. And whenever it get too rough, I had enough of listening to the drunks at the time. Bang! Oh, where's that? At the creek. That's where I went. Screw you people. And I spent a lot of time there that summer. I did make it a year and a half out there. And, by following spring, probably if I stayed even any longer, my mother got us out of there. I don't know, something went down. I don't know what it was, don't remember. But something went down, and she went back to Mass, right? Well, I can guarantee if I was back out there summertime, you know where you find me. But, where is the swim hole? This, and someone has written to me too that there's a lot of stories going on, changed by the mother now, especially, right? There's gonna be a lot of changes when you live on a dead-end street. And the only ones that could have seen this girl would have been the family members, of course, or fellow neighbors. As I highly doubt, out in this area, there's people going out on dead-end streets, unless they're out-of-towners getting lost, or if there is a serial killer out there or rapist, that too, following. But once again, we're too early in the case to determine anything on that. I don't know, I haven't looked into anything. The last thing I did look into, the update, was the articles, of course, that I opened up and recorded. Other than that, I'm going to be waiting a few more days, probably Friday, see if there's anything more on the case. Hopefully by Friday, there'll be something else. But other than that, as you can see, there's suspiciousness, people. Suspiciousness. That's right. Here we have a kid with all this land. But yet, to say, did she wander off? If the search is still continuing, no reason to, foul play, no reason for abduction. I can tell you right now, there's going to be a long, miserable search. That's right, that's a lot of terrain to cover. Big hills. Of course, that in the sea to coming into the other half of the streets and towns. Yeah, them a lot of hills in between there, boy. What's this? Is that is a road, another road that who knows if it still exists, or if it's just one of them roads that was left to grow in. Just want to follow that. Yeah, that looks like one of them roads that don't exist. But let me see, how far does that go? Wolf Gap. Oh man, it's gonna suck if there's wolves out there, but what the hell are wolves gonna do? You would hear that. Dog would sense that. So it's gonna be very interesting to say of what took this kid. Actually, look at that. These old roads supposedly do look like they come right into the mountains. So if there is some type of serial killer or something, would make sense for them to know the terrain. by the back of their hand. Now, which road do we have? Let's see. Very interesting, though. Very interesting to see all this come up. Oh, there's Ben Hill. Yeah. Looks like it could have a road that went through. Right there. Limestone Branch. Now, if that's it don't say it's a brook. So I'm about to wonder what the hell that is. Trail, right? Existing old road. I wouldn't be surprised if roads went through the mountains either, because Fitchburg, where I lived, one of the friggin' hilliest places. And honestly, I think it was like number 3 of the hilliest cities other than San Francisco. 3. And Fitchburg ain't big. So it wouldn't be surprising if the forefathers had roads out there to maybe hunt, or the Native Americans in their trails, and their, forefathers, used their paths, but didn't want to keep up with them. So it is very interesting to see a lot of old activity that has gone through these hills. And actually, yeah, these roads look like they could have maybe connected. They go deep into the woods, boy, into the mountains, so. Well, hey, we gotta continue to wait. That's all we can do. Very, very suspicious story, though, to me. And, just mind-blowing. Another thing me and my wife are talking about, and I mean, she's sick of hearing about these stories, because, right, more and more of them keep coming up. And if you think about it, this is becoming a trend. And what I like to use is the cases that I've been covering, or the most popular. First off, the Bellabon story. In my own hometown. Then you have, I don't even want to say a name, but Anthony's story in Florida. And Jeremiah Oliver, also hometown. All 3 suspects with small children. Killed them, went to jail for a while, but are all now out. And them 3 major stories to me, and now the pandemic has came in, I believe that more people, right, that should have been through a huge schooling of parenting, which I think a new law should be passed. Yes, they have had this in the past, with schools, but it should be a permanent class. It should be done permanently, and it should be done more than just one class. It should be done in college and high school. And it should be a brutal, at least, yeah, it's got to be the full 4 terms. Or all the, I would say, yeah, you know what? Because kids having kids, and it makes me sick to even see they got a TV show of teen moms. If you're going to have that kind of show, then you need to have that kind of education at that time. And I think from that age of when they're doing teen mom TV shows, whatever that age is, should be put on in schools, through high school, through college. Because, right, you're looking at through high school and not even through middle school. You're looking at a career. You're looking at trying to better yourself in life to get a better job so you're not slaving away to get yourself into something good, right? And then when you hit college, you're still looking for something good. But, of course, that peak into sexuality will kick in. And sometimes, as they say, accidents happen. Well, if you want to start going through, oops, an accident happened, then you should be honestly put into school. Parenting, all up through college. Then you'll be sat down and set straight. Career, or kids in career, and I would say you would want to start a career to make the money before you have them kids. Now, if I would have known what I known back then, yes, I wouldn't have been a stupid drunk. Because that's the worst thing that can happen of having kids, being a drunk or a drug user. And the heavy drug users, Bella Barn case, Anthony case, Kaylee Anthony, I will say, not the mother, and Jeremiah Oliver. All three of them women, Casey Anthony's, I said her name, Kaylee Anthony's mother had the jealousy, want to go out and party. Same thing, get drunk, bad habit. And the other two, one had a druggy boyfriend in a gang. And the Bella Bond case, she was flat blunt on drugs, heavy drugs. So all three. And their kids were pawns. Get paid by the state to get money to do drugs, to pay their man, to have a better life. Like Kaylee Anthony's mother. But anyways, this family, I'm not throwing dirt in their face, but already the sounds of it, and I've already heard, domestic violence, the separation, everything that leads to unhappy life. And it's not the kids' fault, but they get caught up in it, and bad things start to happen. Just like me, I didn't ask my mother and father to split up, and I was intervening with two sets of families. I was just in there, and it was all about my mother and father's needs, not mine. Even though, I did luckily have street smarts to keep myself from going insane and doing, almost not doing stupid stuff, even though I did. But I've come out of my, bad filter, got back on track, and now I do this. Hopefully to be a career. And all in all, what it leads to is, parents that should have never said, hey, well, let's have another one. Or, hey, let's have one. But don't think about the consequences later on, because kids these days are not brought up like the kids in my day. In my day, you definitely learn respect. These days, kids can't do that. I mean, parents can't do that. So kids get a little bit, tend to be out of control. Mind you that I have a way of a system that I did, and so far, somewhat, it has worked. Being a proud father of 2 graduates. 2 more to go, and I think I have that covered. But still, there's them downfalls with the social side that's you can't help because of today's society. So with that being said, and whatever it is this family has for issues, I believe is what led this poor girl to her disappearance. Her pictures to me, I see a lot of hyperactivity in that kid. But she does look very happy. And hopefully she is found very safe. I don't know, man. To me right now, yes, we have a lot of suspicion to look into. A lot of, I know I've been getting a lot of comments. Stories are being changed. Things are going down, and it's like, Jesus, man. Sit there and wonder. So, as we look at the driveway, look at the photo of the day of the disappearance. I mean, they even got a little swimming pool in the back. But it don't look like it has no water in it. So hopefully you don't get that on. I don't know if that would have been the case, but we'll see. Be safe, take care, more to come. Out.